Hey friends, I am doing a tutorial right now for the Sayus to Jess color paper chains background. This one right here, you can find it on my Etsy or website. The paper chains actually I ended up using for a event that I did here recently, and I just honestly I sat down one Saturday and just made a ton of paper chains, and that's where this came from. And this was ironically a test shot that I ended up photographing and thought it was really cool. So I kept it and made this background for you. Um, how you use this background is incredibly easy. You really don't need to do much for it. Um, we have this little girl that I'm going to use as our example. Usually I do already have my person already cut out, but I'm going to cut her out for this and show you how I do it. So thanks to Photoshop, cutting somebody out is a lot easier than it used to be. So all I'm doing is I'm doing the magic wand tool and select subject. And it takes like a second, which is so convenient because I used to pin tool everybody out, and that took a while. Every time I pin tool somebody like this, there usually is a little bit of a haloing or just extra like white coming off the background that I don't want. So I go up to select and I click modify and contract. And I usually do two. It's probably too many pixels, but I just usually stick with two to make sure that it got everything that I want gone. There we go. So it just contracted it by 2 pixels, and I will then hit the mask down here to mask her out. Sometimes, no matter how hard you try, you do end up with issues around the hands. It's just pretty normal. Hands are hard. But I'm going to end up making her bigger. So hopefully some of that won't be a big deal. So I wanted to put her about here. And I'm going to go in and fix her hands really quickly. Maybe that piece of hair right here. So to do that, you just make sure that you are on the layer mask for her layer and use a really small brush and with a little bit higher of a hardness on it, and make sure your opacity of your brush is at 100%, and just start brushing away what you had hoped had disappeared when you originally cut her out, or your subject, whoever you're working with. Oh goodness, these fingers. And I'm going to bring back some of the pieces that came out of the prior mask. There we go. So this needs to be a hint smaller. Whoops. And I'm going to take this away. Now, I used to do this with my mouse, and I got really good at it. But I recently switched from a Mac computer to a Windows, and my Magic Mouse, even though we did, because I wanted to keep it, we did download some things to try and make that work on my Windows computer because I really prefer that mouse. It doesn't, for some reason, it doesn't work for me the same way it used to. So I have really been using a Wacom tablet or Wacom tablet, however you pronounce it. I'm not quite sure. And I have been really loving it, actually. And I think that this kind of thing is a lot easier with a pen versus a mouse. So maybe that's something you consider if you don't already have one and you have to do some close detail editing like that. And I know this is a little choppy, but I'm not going to be super detailed about this right now. Just for example, I'm just removing it. All right. So you can, once you are satisfied with how your subject is in there, edit this however you see fit for yourself. I think this is fine. I just thought it was cute to have this behind her. Maybe she's dancing, doing some ballet recital. Who knows? I think one cool thing that you might add in is maybe just changing colors and um, blending it to your own color needs. Like you can add some red with a color balance, maybe some orange, not orange, yellow, whatever you like. So that is another thing that you can add in after the fact. But like I said, this particular background is very easy to use. Just add in your subject and save it. So if you have any questions on how to use Photoshop or any detailed things you're looking to know more about, join us over on the Say Yes to Jess Facebook group, SYTJ Photoshop Community. The link will be down below. And if you are finding this on YouTube, you can purchase this background if you like it on my website or my Etsy page. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.